Hey, what's going on everybody? My name's Patrick with the YouTube channel The Whiskey Cove, bringing you another fun-filled installment of bourbon knowledge coming your way in collaboration with Men's Journal. On today's episode, we are talking about two barrel-proof whiskeys that you have to own. These are two affordable whiskeys, findable whiskeys, and above all else, very tasty ones indeed. What question you are asking, I know already, and that is, what are these whiskeys? And these are these two whiskeys. So as you can see, both Jack Daniel's spirits. We have on the left Jack Daniel's Tennessee Barrel Proof Whiskey, and then on the right we have Jack Daniel's Tennessee Barrel Proof Rye Whiskey. They are both single barrels, which we'll get into a little bit more later. Why I really like these whiskeys is, like I said, very approachable, very affordable, and above all else, very tasty. So this first one is the Jack Daniel's Tennessee Whiskey Barrel Proof. What this is different to bourbon, as you might be thinking, is that Tennessee whiskeys goes through every single step that bourbon does, but it does one more extra step. And that is the Lincoln County charcoal filtering process. So they get the clear spirit before it goes into the barrel. They filter it then through maple charcoal, and at the bottom when the distillate comes out, they get that and then they stick it into a barrel. This creates a really round and soft profile, and that flavor profile definitely comes in through the palate here. So this is going to be 80% corn, 12% rye, and then 8% malted barley at the mash bill. That's quite high in terms of the corn sweetness there, and that comes through to the taste and the palate. It's very bread, caramel flavor, banana forward, and has an abundance of cherry notes. And then on the palate, for a whiskey that has quite high ABV or proof, as it is cask strength or barrel proof, this specific one is 64.90% ABV or 129.8 proof. That's quite high. The ABV on these bottles can vary because they are single barrels, but it doesn't drink that high. It drinks more like 55 to 60% ABV. It's very approachable and very rounded, and that's to do with a lot of the sweet, approachable notes that are in this bottle. A little with this can go a long way. Much like the rye, I would advise drinking it neat first and maybe adding a few drops of whiskey and ice as you kind of go through it, because it might be a little hot to start with, but then at least you can add a little bit of water to kind of proof that out a little bit. Just remember, you can always add water, but you can't take it away, and that's why I would say just start neat. So this bottle is typically around 6 to 8 years old, and how much does it cost? Well, it's right around $60 to $70. It's fantastic value for money. And much like the rye, which is also $60 to $70 and around 6 to 7, 8 years old, these are some of the best value in whiskey that you can kind of have. And that's a pretty big compliment, especially saying the amount of whiskey that is on the market right now. Here at the Whiskey Cove, we talk a lot about how we want our money to go a long way, and we want to really get a bottle that is worth it. And these two definitely tick that. With the barrel proof rye, the mash bill you're looking at is going to be 70% rye, 18% corn, and then 12% malted barley. So with the Tennessee whiskey, we have to have at least 51% corn in the mash bill. With the Tennessee rye, we have to have at least 51% rye in the mash bill, and we got that with an abundance with 70% rye. Age is about 6 to 8 years or so, and it goes through everything single step that this does, apart from it's a rye. So the mash bill looks just a little bit different. You're gonna get a big bunch of rye spice, really nice vanilla wafers, like vanilla creams, some maple syrup, lots of caramel, some warm banana nut bread there. So think of like toasted pecans, toasted walnuts, nice soft caramel bread, caramel banana bread that's come out of the oven. Getting some of those smelling notes. It's a beautiful and a very approachable rye. If you're someone who's not familiar with drinking rye, this is a pretty good one to start with. Yes, the ABV is up there. This one is 64.5% ABV or 129 proof. But again, you can add a little bit of water as well and just kind of feel the whiskey out too. These are, like I said, single barrels. So what's really good about these is that I have these two in front of me, but you could go into the store and buy another two, and they could be a little bit different. The nuances could be very different. The ABV could be different too as well, because no single barrel is generally the same. However, the ABVs can sometimes align up just through chance, right? But some of the flavor profiles might be a little bit different. You have to take some things into consideration, like the temperature of the warehouse that the barrel was in, where that it was stored in the rick house too, and that could give it a lot of different flavors. So these are going to set you back around $60 to $70. Excellent value for money. And if there's two bottles that I think that you should definitely go out and buy, if you like barrel-proof whiskey, these two are definitely at the top of my list. With that being said, folks, thank you so much for tuning in today. If you like the content that you're watching, definitely go over to my YouTube channel, The Whiskey Cove, where you will find hundreds of videos of whiskey-related content, hours and hours that you can kind of deep dive into as we drink through the world's whiskeys one glass at a time. Thank you so much for watching. Cheers.